So I said I'd be fighting this guy really early, and here we are. I also figure that instead of keeping the difficulty on normal, let's jack it all the way up to ultra hard. In addition to the description below, ultra hard mode also removes enemy health bars and increases enemy sight ranges by a lot. I'm also going to be using a new weapon that I picked up in Meridian called the Rope Caster. It is exclusively for tying ropes to machines to tie them down, so you'll know exactly what that is when I start using it. Now, when fighting a Thunderjaw, there are a ton of components that I need to knock off of him for him to be less lethal. First, I'm going to start with these disc launchers. They can launch discs that kind of home in on your location somewhat, and in 2 really quick shots, I can be killed. Its tail at this level is also a one-hit kill. It is incredibly lethal, and with the camera in this fight, it's going to be kind of hard to tell when he's going to use it. The last thing that I'm going to focus on trying to knock off are these little shot cannons on either side of its face. These are a little tough to hit, and they can attack for very long streams that kinda hurt a ton. To start though, I'm not just going to try to knock off his disc launchers with tear ammo because he will notice me right away. I want to have a bit of an advantage at the start here, so I'm going to be using blast wires to knock him over. One really big advantage to blast wires is the enemy doesn't actually know where I am. And even after these blast wires go off, he'll continue to not know where I am. I'm not sure how much damage these blast wires are doing, but it is not a lot. I'm just trying to knock him over. So now that the Thunderjaw is stunned, I need to try to knock off one of these disc launchers. It is going to take me a ton of tear ammo at this point because I just don't have an upgraded bow. So that should be one disc launcher, and now I'm going to use the rope caster to try to stun him or distract him. So he tried to do a tail whip attack there, and it didn't work. So now that I have him a little bit stunned, you can see a rope casting meter has started to fill. I'm not going to try to fill that entirely because it takes way too much ammunition. But that's both disc launchers knocked off. Now I'm going to try to focus a little bit on the sides of his face to get those shot cannons. So yeah, even his charge attacks do more than half of my health. So I'm going to use the rope caster here to stun him a little bit. This will keep him off of my tail while I'm trying to go around and actually pick up those disc launchers because I can fire them back at him. These do a ton of damage. It's also a good idea to use the rope caster to kind of tie him down a little bit so he's not moving all over the place while you try to fire these.
Don't have ammo for this.
So I'm going to let him use more of his attacks in a later fight, but this is on ultra hard and he can kill me very quickly, so now's not a great opportunity. So the last thing I'm going to try to use is building up his fire meter, which takes a lot of arrows at this point. But it can do a bunch of damage, and now that he's stunned and his disc launchers are gone, I kind of don't have any big ways of dealing damage.
There.
So with those disc launchers gone, he's going to resort a lot more to charging and melee attacks, so these blast wires will help stun him out of that. That big laser attack also seems to come out when he has his disc launchers removed. It is very, very deadly at this point for me, as that pretty much almost killed me. So he managed to hit one of my blast wires, which luckily knocked him over. So we're going to see if we can't finish this now. So it was a pretty good fight. It can go wrong very quickly. And it does a lot of the time for me. On normal mode, these guys are a lot less dangerous, as you can knock off any of their parts with just one tear ammo. So I figured it would take a little bit too quickly on normal. But no matter what difficulty you fight them on, you get really, really good rewards. Typically a ton of really good modifications that you can really only buy, but those cost a lot of money, so I'm not going to be doing that. I won't be farming for modifications from Thunderjaws, as on normal mode I'm just not going to need it. But generally speaking, when I'm fighting them, I don't want to have anyone else sort of interrupt. There are other machines near this area that can kind of get into the fight, but thankfully none of them got involved this time. So yeah, that's a Thunderjaw. The fights are usually really chaotic, and they're fun, but they're really hard. So yeah, let's take the difficulty back down to normal and continue on with the LP.